Shabbat Shalom. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, citizens of YouTube. This is Pastor Dow. Now, here is, probably proof positive of the reason why that I believe the way I believe, which people in this country who have been trained and manipulated to exclude truth from their own conscience continually over and over and over again try to play reverse psychology and try to tell me how wrong I am, when I can, in the face of all this evidence, could continue to keep proving to you what the problem is. You see, America is a systematic system of white supremacy racism. And it's almost laughable, and the conditions are becoming very deplorable when actually someone who is in power trying to put forth the finger against me, who has no power whatsoever at all against the system, and accuse me of racism when my people were the ones who were brought over here against their will. Now, what we have here, and I'm going to show you the reason why I don't have a lick of confidence. That's why people who have PhDs, that don't mean nothing to me. That means nothing to me whatsoever at all, and it shouldn't mean nothing to you, because we have a lady here in Texas whose son goes to the public food system. And you ask me, do I think we ought to send our people to the public school system? No, we don't. I practice civil disobedience by homeschooling children. That's right. My children were homeschooled. In other words, I'm not going to get on here and tell you something that I have not done myself. Are you following me? And one of my children actually graduated college, a Division 1A school. The other one said there is no way in hell I'm going to go to their institutions and allow them to screw around and mess around with my mind and to have me not knowing where I'm coming or going. And I agree with 100%, because you see, in this country it is touted that if you're educated, then you are a man or woman of personal responsibility, high character, and of sound mind, and you can't get any positions in the government. You can't get any positions worthwhile that's going to pay you anything in this world unless you're educated, unless you choose to go outside of that system and actually work in construction where you can make a lot of money, but your body's going to pay for it. Well, I don't have confidence in our education system, because I remember when I was in public food that I never learned anything about my people's history. I grew up in pretty much what you would call white schools, where in the classroom, sometimes I was the lone colored person, and maybe at max, it may be two of us. Max, in junior high and high school. And I never heard anything about my history. And there's times that I'll be in history class, and I keep hearing all this American history and stuff, and I look at myself as a young man, and I look at all the people I'm surrounded by, and I go, well, where in the world did my people fit in? What type of impact did we have on this country? And I never got the answers. It wasn't until I was 25 years old that I came across the knowledge of my people. And not only my people who have actually contributed to this world right here, this society right here. Engineers, philosophers, I can go on and on and on, educators, but they seem to be skewed, pushed to the background, and the only impact we've ever had on this society is pretty much nothing whatsoever at all. And that is the attitude of the Romans, the Greeks, the Europeans, and the Americans, because they have this uncanny ability to be able to take all the history and all the knowledge of antiquities, beginning all the way back from Egypt, all the way up to this point right now, and actually making the whole entire world believe that it originated with them. This is a serious problem. Now, you may hear me speak and hear me talk. Do you think that I'm a racist because I'm stating truth? Or is it that you can't handle the truth? What is the problem? What is the real true problem right here? Why is it that there are some things in this country, in this world, it's okay to discuss, and other things it's a hands-off attitude, and it's just not a healthy environment, nor is it the time for us to discuss it? And why is that, I wonder? Because it seems like truth is always suppressed at every end. No, I bring up history all over the place. All over the place. And I'm going to tell you right now, just in case you don't know, I think it's sickening, the condition that the blacks are in this world. all this damn hip hop and this foolishness and stuff and run around chasing booty and ass and every damn thing else, which seems to be the height of what they call the zenith of pleasure in this wicked country right here. Whoever can shake their most booty, the biggest booty, and do the most twerking. Can't get hardly any of them to even read a book or nothing like that. And of course, then they want to play victim and tout that we've been robbed of a knowledge of self and stuff, and we don't know. But damn it, we got all kind of knowledge right now to where you don't have to be robbed of a knowledge of self. You can't change your situation. You can't change your conditions. But the problem is you don't want to, because this entitlement mentality has produced a welfare state to where you feel like you are a victim. But I'm going to tell you something, black man, black woman. Nobody don't owe you nothing. Now let's get back to the scope of this video to bring a fair and balanced reporting of this situation right here. We have this woman who educates her son at home, and she's an educated married woman as well. And her son brought home the history book and showed mama what they put down in the history book, and mama caught this thing and made a video about it, and then wrote these people, all these educators, PhDs, all these credentials laid out all over the side and stuff. Now watch this. You know what they did? They found out that, look at this. The book says that the blacks came over here as immigrants and workers. That is a lie from the pit of hell. The truth is, we were brought over here against our will, raped, robbed, murdered, lynched, robbed of a knowledge of self. It was against the law for us to read and write. We had no power over nothing. And whenever slave master came down to the boom boom docks and raped our women and stuff, and then our men would stand up, we didn't have firearms to where we could defend ourselves against these enemies and stuff. And so you know what? We end up being drugged to the rope and hung on a tree, fulfilling the prophecies of Deuteronomy 28, curses at everyone that hangeth from a tree. It's amazing, isn't it? But you are skewed to this knowledge, and in these history books, these books have been caught red-handed. They've actually want to erase the transatlantic slave trade, but they want you to remember the Jewish Holocaust. Now, what I'm saying is painfully, brutally honest and truthful and stuff. How does this impact your heart when you hear somebody like me speaking with such truth, conviction, and passion? What actually goes on inside your conscience and mind? Well, Pastor Dow, you seem like you upset. Damn sweet I'm upset, and I should be. But I can keep my sanity because I don't fall into the same system. I'm not trying to reform the American education system, because there's no reforming something that is demonically inspired. You can't reform that. You've got to come out. And so if you want your children to grow up knowing the truth, you got to educate them at home. You got to teach them yourself. That's what you're going to do. You're going to get a homeschool curriculum, and then you got to comb through that and sift through that. And every time you see the lie, you write the curriculum and tell them you need to correct this mess because this is a lie, and then give them facts of the reason why. Now, our children are not going to be lied to. No way, shape, fashion, or form. And let's applaud. I do applaud this woman for being able to correct this, catch this, and the son for being informed about this. What is it about you, America? Is your past that dark and that bad that you have no repentance in your heart whatsoever at all? That you have nothing in you that convicts you of how wicked you are to skew truthful history? And then to have the audacity to turn around and tell me that me and my people will have promise for all the situations that's going on here in this world? No. America, under Satan's authority, is a demonic, satanic war machine that goes around and literally murders, commits genocide, and kills people in sovereign countries for resources. Greed. Remember, the might of Rome is vast. And people, they don't get upset at me because I'm lying to them. They get upset at me because I tell the truth. You see, if you want to become somebody's enemy, tell them the truth. And then put the ball in their court and tell them, answer me if you can. Answer me. And they won't. Because the only thing they got is their feelings and emotions that they continually keep trying to justify. I get on here and I talk about the transatlantic slave trade. What about the white slaves? Damn it, the subject is not the white slaves. If you want to talk about the white slaves, get your YouTube video and then talk about them. The subject matter is what's going on in this country and the wickedness that is still being sown that's keeping many of you ignorant of the truth and keeping you racist without you even knowing it. You've been coerced and manipulated, dominated, and have no idea how bad you're being used and abused. But you know what? I'm going to include this video down here. I want you to check it out because this man over at the Vice TV show, he caught this thing. He does a real good reporting and stuff. And of course, if you can stomach the truth, which most people can't anyway, because that is all predicated upon the sanctity of your own heart. If you have any moral good in you whatsoever at all, because, the Bible already called it that there will be a day when good becomes evil and evil becomes good. That right will become wrong and wrong become right. Are we not there? I mean, I don't care who you are, black, white, green, purple, red, yellow, brown. Tell me, do we not live in a time where right is wrong and wrong is right? Good is evil and evil is good? The whole thing, everything in the cosmos is literally turned upside down. I'm glad they caught it. I will keep an eye on them. Because you think about this. These PhDs, these so-called scholars, these people who are writing these curriculums and then putting these curriculums in the federal curriculum of the school system, they knew full well what they were doing. It's just that they got caught red-handed. Oh, we got caught. Other than that, it was promoted and approved the whole entire time. Hell no, I can't trust that. I can't trust it. And let me tell you something. Mothers and fathers, black or white, you are literal fools if you trust your children in this school system right here. You see, most of you don't want to do things the way that the Bible says because it's too much of an inconvenience to your rotten, nasty, defiled, silly flesh. You don't want to. You want to take the path of least resistance. You don't want to take responsibility for your own upbringing and your children's teaching. No, you don't. You want it to depend upon a system of corruption, a system of racism. That's what you want to do. And then you want to blame shit when things don't go your way, when your children don't even belong to you in the first place, when you decided to go and get a marriage license and enter into a third-party contractual agreement. Does it true sound crazy? Sure it does. It sounds crazy. It sounds off the rock. Man, I know I sound like a cult. Yeah, don't I? I sound like a fanatic. Yo, I'm a crackpot. Wait, what you mean to tell me because I'm out of the matrix? I'm outside the scope of that wicked influence and stuff, and I can discern and tell the difference between right and wrong and call it that there's something wrong with me? Then answer me this question. What the hell is wrong with you then? Let me calm myself down. I'm getting ready to go to Shabbat service, and I got to preach, and I'm going to preach. And I got to bring forth the word of the Most High Yah to a sane, rational people who are Israelites who love the Most High Yah, and we're going to be ruling this world. So fill up your cup, Rome. Fill up your cup, America. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked, and the wicked is making sure that they're doing everything they can to stay that way. But your day of reckoning is coming to an end. Check out this video. You caught red-handed, you bunch of damn bastards.